Hello. Are people joining us? Okay, here we go. How's everyone doing? I'm Adam from AFI. I have to admit, I'm no stranger to Instagram, but I've never done an Instagram live, so you guys will have to bear with me while I work on this. Hello, okay, so I see what's going on here. You guys are saying things, and there's people liking stuff. Okay, I think we're good. You also have to excuse me, I'm super hopped up on sugar right now. It's Luca's birthday today, so I've just been demolishing a birthday cake that we got from Timeless Coffee over in Oakland. It's a vegan birthday cake with sprinkles, and Luca loved it, and I think I loved it a little bit more, so... Anyway, thanks for being here. I'm here to give you a list of my top 5 things I've been doing while social distancing. So, we've all been social distancing for quite some time right now. So, the list of what I'm doing, I just have to start by saying that nothing that I'm doing is remarkable or even interesting, really. I don't think it's anything that people should be terribly interested in. What I do think people should be terribly interested in is all the, what does deserve attention are all the first responders and all the medical people and everybody who is doing their part to help us get through this, whether they're stocking shelves or seeing patients in hospitals, if they're sweeping the floor of the hospital, just anything, people delivering food, people just getting out there and helping sort of society stay together while we all do this. Everyone who's keeping the wheels on the bus while we're stuck at home. So, and I'd also like to thank you guys for taking this seriously too. I assume that you're all in your homes too and just trying to limit your interaction with the world and buy civilization a little bit of time while we try to figure this out. So, thank you. I know that there's a lot of talk. I'm not going to get political, but I know there's a lot of talk about reopening the country, reopening states and cities, and I'm as anxious as anyone to get back out in the world, but I'm going to listen to the scientists, and I'm going to listen to the doctors and politicians, whether they're on one side or the other. I'm sure they know what's best for getting their constituents to be happy, but what I'm concerned about is making sure we don't have to do this again in a couple months, and making sure that what we're doing right now is actually buying some time and being put to good use. So anyway, if you're taking social distancing as serious as I am, I thank you. And this is a corn dog sticker. Luca got a ton of stickers for her birthday, and they are everywhere. So, how are you guys doing? Do I know any of you? Yes, flatten that curve. Okay. Hey, Josh, what's up? Okay, I recognize some of these names. So, my top 5 things I've been doing while I'm been socially isolated. One more disclaimer, and I'm going to kind of parrot what Davey said the other day. But my family is socially isolating from a position of privilege. And I know that a lot of people out there are really suffering. We're comfortable in our house. It's just the 3 of us. We're doing our best to stay put. But I know that a lot of you know people who are ill. Maybe you're ill yourself. Maybe you're worried where your rent's going to come from. There's a lot of suffering going on, and I'm aware of that. and I recognize that I'm privileged to be in the position I am, and it's because of you people who have given me the ability to just shelter in place and get through this. So I have to thank you for that. Do you hear that sound? That's Luca upstairs playing her drums. Luca! And that is her getting back from my parents for me annoying the shit out of them when I was a kid. So now I understand drums are super annoying.
That's not drum right now.
So, okay. Anyway, my top 5 list of things I'm doing. I actually don't have 5 things I'm doing. I have 1. And it's keeping my kid from watching TV. And that's all I do all day long. So I'm going to try to not make this about my kid, but that's my life right now. And it's great, but it's all-encompassing, and it never stops. And I don't know if any of you are parents, but trying to prevent them from watching TV all the time is just sort of what you do. I never thought that I would be a teacher, but this quarantine is like Groundhog's Day, except that I'm not Bill Murray, I'm me, and I'm a substitute teacher every day. Her school is it's kind of a pre-K, so it's, I know the material, it's nothing too difficult, but they give us these packs and we try to create some sort of structure. So anyway, the first thing I'm doing is trying to make sure my kid has a normal life. We're trying to keep her life structured. We're not totalitarian parents. We're making sure that she has lots of fun and she gets to be a kid. She's only 3 after all, but we don't want this to just be a vacuum of time for her. So we've been doing lessons and trying to just make the day educational and fun and take lots of breaks and do all that stuff. So that's kind of the main thing we're doing. My wife and I have a good system of breaking up the day, and she does some and I do some, and then whatever's left we kind of have time to do our own things if possible. But I guess the second thing that I'm spending a lot of time doing, which I always do, is listen to a lot of music, especially in this house. We're always listening to music. Rini is my wife is really good at making mixes. I'm kind of a full album guy, but she is always bouncing around listening to a lot of different stuff. So I don't have I guess I could just show you. This is the last stack of records I bought before this all started. But I'll see if there's anything good. It's Echo and the Bunnymen record. Porcupine, it's a good one. I had it. Never had it on vinyl. Church record, wildly underrated band, Church. Anybody into it? This is a Style Council LP. This is Paul Weller, After the Jam. I think there's a dude from Dexy's Midnight Runners in this band. I actually don't know anything about this band, other than Paul Weller's in it, and I like the jam, so I grabbed it. And I got a big Audio Dynamite record. I know Hunter can appreciate this. This is Mick Jones' band After the Clash. What are you guys saying? Oh, you guys love the Church too? Tight. This is a tight record. The Lord's in a New Church. This is Stiv Vader's After the Dead Boys. I'm also not super familiar with this, but I'm anxious to listen to it more. So this is wildly interesting for you guys, I bet. I picked up a Madness record. I think this was their 5th record. I was thinking about Madness the other day. I was trying to think about the earliest song that I remember just loving as a kid, but that I still love to this day. And the song Our House by Madness is just one of those songs. It came on Spotify, and I don't think there's ever been a single time that I've listened to that song and not been engaged and been into it and listened to the song start to finish. I think it's a great song. It's a great pop song. It's super melodic, but there's a little bit of nostalgia to it. Slightly depressed. I don't know. It's British, I guess. I'm waiting to see if my wife stomped on the floor after that. But also got this Billy Joel Greatest Hits Volume 1 and 2. I pretty much learned how to play drums to this record. When I first got my drum kit and I had a Walkman, I had this cassette and I put it on and I just started trying to play along with Liberty DeVito, the drummer. And I didn't know how to play drums, and maybe I still don't, but I learned a lot trying to play along with that record. So, yes, homeschooling my kid, listening to lots of music. I'm still trying to play a lot of drums, but it's difficult because drums are fucking loud and you can't play them in your house. So I'm lucky enough to have a rehearsal spot in Oakland that I've had for 20-something years now. And I try to get there and I try to play as much as I can, just sort of experiment as much as I can, just try to stumble on new things, new ways of playing. I find that Instagram is really good for that type of thing because there's just so many shredders out there, just drummers that are so good, and maybe they're not even in bands, they just make content and put it online, but there's just so much you can learn from these people. And drumming has probably always been like this, but you didn't always have access to see it. So unless you picked up a Dave Weckl video or something, you never really got to see drummers just shredding. But now there's all kinds of outlets to see that stuff. And a couple of the guys that I've been watching a lot recently, Eric Slick, who's in a band called Dr. Dog. He's the drummer. His handle is Strange America, at Strange America. But he's just been filming himself playing a lot of soul grooves and just different types of music. He played a Dillinger Escape Plan the other day. But anyway, he's just got a great feel. And that's kind of, for me, what I'm trying to develop most as a drummer is just feel. And that's a hard thing. It's not something that you can really teach. And I'm not even sure I have the best feel, but I like to watch drummers who are so good playing in the pocket. He's really one of them. Another one is Glenn Kochi. I'm not sure his last name, how you say it, from Wilco. He's one of my favorite drummers. And again, another guy who's super creative. And there's a lot to learn from him, even when he's not doing stuff that's completely difficult. Sometimes it's really simple, but it's just hard to create that feel. So I like Jason McGurr from Death Cab. There's this dude, Dave Major. His handle is Dave Major's Music, or Dave Major Music. He's just this guy. I think he's Scottish, but he just kind of does drum lessons and little tutorials and stuff. And I don't even think he has a really huge following or anything, but I don't know how I got to his page, but I just started following him. And he had some little pattern. It's like a 5-stroke roll or something that I just took with me to the practice pad and learned it and started figuring out how to apply it. And that one little thing has really opened a bunch of doors for me. And it reminded me of a time when AFI was touring with Sick of It All a lot. And it was between Very Proud of Ya and Shut Your Mouth. And I was watching Armand from Sick of It All play drums every night. And there was this one thing that he did that was this syncopated beat that I was really impressed with, and I learned how to do it. And it changed the way I play entirely, irreversibly changed the way I play. It's a super simple thing. It's just this simulated double bass thing with the floor tom and the kick drum, kind of polyrhythmic. Not quite triplets, but I've taken that and it just smashed how I play. It just completely changed things. So, you never know where you're going to get your next little bit of inspiration from. So that's why I've been trying to play a lot of drums lately. So that's the third thing that I've been doing a lot of. Man, I'm sorry. This is probably not very interesting, but it's the truth. So, how are you guys doing? You and your damn triplets. Okay. Did anybody watch Hunter's Q&A yesterday or a couple days ago? Man, how long did he talk? Did he? I saw that the thing was like an hour long. Did you have any cues left? All right. I guess you can't talk back to me, so. So, the fourth thing that has been occupying a lot of my time during this period of home isolation is we moved last summer and we bought an old house. It's like 115-year-old craftsman. And it needs a lot of work. And I naively thought that I would be able to do all that work, and I'm having to test that theory. So I've done a lot of DIY home improvement. I think I've painted every room in this house, with the exception of one, which I'm putting off because the walls are lath and plaster, and anytime I touch it, just a piece of the wall falls off. So, which is actually our bedroom, so that's the one room that we'd actually like to be nice. I actually tore down and built a new deck off the back of the house, and things keep spiraling. I built a deck just so I could take the washer and dryer out of the house so we could put down some new flooring, and built the deck, and it turned out really good. And then I turned around and I thought, well, that's just one door, it could be two, and so I tore down the wall to put in new doors, and things just spiraled out of control, and my wife is looking at me wondering when she's going to have a house that actually has a window in it, which she does today because I got the window in. Anyway, doing all this stuff that I don't know how to do, but it's really fulfilling to learn how to do it. I never built anything in my life except for the summer that we actually started AFI. Davey and I and Mark and Victor built a half pipe in my backyard, and it was a monster half pipe. It actually structurally was a decent half pipe. I kind of screwed up making the transitions, so it was really tight. It was only 6 feet tall, but it went divert, which is insane. But it was a good attempt, and it was fun, and I remember doing that. So I always wanted to have a house that I could work on, and now I have it. And now I'm wishing that I bought new construction, because then you don't have to put in insulation, and you don't have to wire things, and you don't have to break things, and you don't have to call people when you screw up. So, but that's what I've been doing, and that's a lot of fun. Honestly, that's about it. The irony is, after the entire day of trying to keep Luca off the TV, when she goes to bed, we pretty much sit down exhausted, and I've been watching reruns of Cheers because I find it comforting. But that's about it. Yeah, man, that's about it. Oh, I didn't tell my David Bowie story. When I was talking about listening to a lot of music, and Luca, my daughter, again, we're going to talk about her. It's her birthday today, and we want to wish her a happy birthday. She was on Frozen. She loved Frozen for months and months, and that's all we were listening to. And it's a good soundtrack. Don't get me wrong; those are really good pop songs. But if I hear The Rock sing, "I know what's happening here," I just couldn't do it any longer. So fortunately, one of our friends gave Luca this book about David Bowie, and I've been reading it to her, and she got really interested in David Bowie. And so I thought, well, Luca, come, let's look at YouTube. And we started watching David Bowie videos, and she loves him, and now she only wants to listen to David Bowie, which is not a bad thing. It totally has changed the vibe of my house, because we're no longer in a Disney film. We're now actually able to listen to one of the best artists ever. You know, huge catalog. We can't go wrong. The other day we were watching videos, and I walked out of the room, and I guess, you know, one ended and another one started, but Joy Division was on, and she was kind of watching it, and she was kind of like trying to decide if she liked it, and I saw an opportunity to like try to broaden what she's into that's still like reasonable. And I said, oh, you know, this is David Bowie's really good friends in Joy Division. It's Ian Curtis, and really close with David Bowie. Like, you should definitely listen to this because David Bowie would be really happy. So now I think we got two bands that we listen to. Anyway, anybody have any questions before I sign off here? I didn't realize I've been talking for 20 minutes. I'm really sorry. I'm glad that you're still here, all of you. She does want to dress with him. As a matter of fact, for her birthday, she got a David Bowie shirt, which she's excited about. Elton John, that's a good choice. I think that we can try to introduce that. I don't play AFI for her. Do I have any pets? Yes, I have a dog. His name is Indy. He's asleep over there. I would show you my house, but we had after the birthday party today. It's trashed. So, new Strokes record. Yes, I've heard it, and I do like it. I love the Strokes. I always have. So I'm really into it. Anyway, that's all for me. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for caring. Thank you for allowing me to do what I really love to do for a living, and thanks for caring. I hope everybody's being safe and is staying healthy, and, you know, I don't want to sound like a car commercial, but, you know, we will get through this together, and, you know, the uncertain times, all that shit. But I truly hope you guys are all well, and I really can't wait to get back on the road with a new record and come play for you guys. So, all right, here they come. I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you later. Bye.